Obviously, Laveau's so nice, it can self-identify. How many of you at this table are straight? Oh, I was figuring that. I saw that. I saw Megan's knees just bop, bop. Not a dollar came out of any pocket. I wish. They go to church every Sunday. They pay their tithing just to a different organization. Okay, it's fine. If you guys want, I do want to take a quick poll of what you guys think of the 3 on this poster and the 2 that have stood in front of you. Do you think I am gay or straight? I'm going to count to 3 and you're going to yell it, okay? 1, 2, 3.
Yay! I don't know.
I knew it. I fucking knew it. It's a limited 2 jacket, right? Do you guys know what the limited is? Yeah. It's like where every Midwesterner got her first business suit when she was in business college.
I did that.
You did that? Yes. What school? Where'd you go?
Well, I went to a community college in Delaware, but I did buy the white suit. Sorry.
Exactly.
Thank you.
You walked in. You had some job fair coming up.
I did.
You printed your resume probably 18,000 times.
Yeah.
Your printer probably fucking broke. I know because I am you, baby. I did go to business school, all right? And now I tell jokes in a gay bar. It's my choice, all right? I loved growing up. I grew up in the Midwest. I grew up where it's cold. It's snowing there. It was a fun time, though. It was a really good time. I was raised by a single mom. She took me to a lot of different churches, I think, to find the right father figure. I love that response. Didn't work out. She called nobody daddy. I called nobody daddy, you know. But I learned a ton. I learned a ton about a ton of different religions. So the first one that we were part of was an evangelical group, right? Why the fuck is that name so long and complicated? And also, why are they so loud? Honestly, it probably is the reason I got a marketing degree, because they do love marketing. Okay, if you're not aware of evangelical people, I need you to just go 4 blocks down on Bourbon and the ones with the big ass sticks and the big ass posters that are yelling at you that God hates you. That's them, and their message is strong. And we love someone who can get their message across, right? Clear communication. I loved it. But after that, we ended up joining a Mormon church. I love that there's usually no response to that. People are like, is this good, is this bad, is this even a religion, or is it a cult? It is a cult. It is. And to rise in the ranks of a cult, you need to be highly optimistic and highly impressionable. I fit all those rules. Okay, I'm your prophet now. But they also have really arbitrary rules. They have this thing called the Word of Wisdom, and it's a list of everything you can eat and drink. And one day in Sunday school, they were like, would you rather drink an oat milk latte or a cup of gasoline? And I said, an oat milk latte as long as it has lavender. We should have known right then. But we didn't know, and they said, no, you're fucking wrong. You're going to hell. You cannot drink coffee, but you can drink that cup of gasoline. I was like, this is a little awful, right? I'm starting to pick up on the sense of religion here. I'm like, okay. So we finally joined a non-denominational church, because we all know that's bisexual for Christian anyway. All right? And that's the moment that all of it made sense to me. That's also the moment I called up my mom and I said, hey mom, I just got a new car, I got a Subaru. She said, I hate those cars. And I was like, why? And she was like, my friend got in a car accident and the car flipped. I was like, her sexuality. Anyways, my mom thought it was great. She ate it up. Nom nom nom. She loved that joke. She's like, you should tell your grandma that way. That's how you should come to your grandma. Coming out to your grandma's always a little more nerve-wracking, right? Because your parents are always like, we love you unconditionally. But there's so many fucking terms and conditions. And you're like, where did I check off on this? Because all I know is that when I go to grandma's house, I just hear a bunch of shit about you that I agree with. And she gives me treats and doesn't call me fat after, so. I love my grandma. I told her the same way. She didn't get it. In her defense, she is bilingual. She speaks English and Bible fluently. She writes her own parables. But when I did come out to her, and it took me a long time. I mean, I've had that Subaru joke for years. This one was written this last year. I called her up and I said, hey, Grandma, I'm bringing my roommate home for Christmas. She's not my roommate, this is my girlfriend. And she goes, yeah, you just need to watch some more Wheel of Fortune. It's like, I didn't know it was going to take Vanna White to spell out I'm gay to my grandmother. She just said there's a lot of gay people on there all the time, so I should be used to it. It's normal. Do you guys know it's normal to be gay now? Woo! Woo! You can cheer for that. You can cheer for that. You can cheer for that. Oh, it's a good time. And the funny part about all of that is that I just felt like I finally hit the adult portion of my life. When I like came out, I was like, I'm making good decisions, I'm learning communication, but the only thing that I still can't nail down is fucking inflation. How the fuck does that work? Everyone's like, well, inflation is just when things get more expensive. You're like, yeah, so quit blowing it up. Can you deflate it, please? Suck it back in. I don't know what you need to do, but it needs to drop. And down here in New Orleans, it's not easy to keep up with the cost of things, right? Because they just pick and choose prices on certain things. Like the cost of fixing the roads, that's your struts 3 times over, okay? They're not gonna fix the roads, fix your car. But the way I keep up with inflation down here is yearly, and it's when it's time for king cakes, which is now, bitch. Those bitches are good, okay? I love a king cake. I love a king cake. If you are a tourist here and you don't know what a king cake is, it's a glorious cinnamon roll. And sometimes you can get it stuffed with something good. And most of the time, they're stuffed with a baby. Okay? If you get that baby in your slice, you have to buy the next one. With the prices of king cakes now, I've never been so fucking afraid to get a baby in my slice. I've never been so afraid. So I came up with a plan that if I do ever get the baby in my slice, I will be swallowing, okay? Spitters are quitters and spitters are broke, all right? The only shitty thing about that is in Louisiana, if you get rid of your baby from your slice and someone finds out that you got rid of it, felony. Ah, yikes. If you don't like that joke, you can go vote about it. So. No, I luckily never had to get rid of a baby from my slice. I'm on really good birth control. And no, it's not being gay. I've only been doing that for like a few years since it was cool, all right? So, no, but it's not that. I'm actually on birth control. It's funded by the government, provided by the government. We didn't learn a lot about it in school, nor did we with any birth control, did we? It only has a few side effects. It has mood swings, a little bit of nausea, maybe a headache or 2, but like an overwhelming generalized fear of what to do if you don't plan for the future, you know? It's called the economy. Yeah. I love it. Best birth control I've ever been on, okay? I've never crossed my legs so tight in my life. But when I did cross my legs that tight, last time was when I first fell in love with my girlfriend. Because have you guys ever fallen in love and needed to fart?
Yes.
Let's talk about it. How many of you, I need another poll, we're doing another poll. Attention, attention, hear ye, hear ye. How many of you fart in front of your partner?
Woo!
Yes, let it rip! Let it rip, it's literally good for you. It's so good for you. Also, it's like bonding, there's like pheromones or something. And all I know is after the first time, I accidentally slid off the bed a little too slow and stood up a little too slow, and my ass just went, oh! I felt so in love in that moment. I felt so in love. But at this point of our relationship, I had never told her that I loved her. I hadn't. And so I was like, okay, it's time. I really need to tell her that I love her. I need her to know. I need her to know. But like also, I'm not gonna explain birth charts. There's too many fucking straight people in the room. But if you look at my birth chart, I'm not one to say I love you first. Okay, bitch? Because if I'm wrong and you don't love me back, I've never said it in my life. Okay? Not guilty. So the way I set it up when I told her I loved her is we were like on a phone call. And I just like ended it kind of like you're just like chatting with anybody. You're like, okay, love you, bye. What's she supposed to do? Say it back? No, I hung up on her. She doesn't have the chance. She doesn't have the chance. She can just pretend she doesn't hear it, right? Like I'm in the prime position. And then she called back. You ever have anxiety when you like look at your phone and it's like debt collectors? I was like, am I in love? Am I in fear? Fight, flight, A, straight? What am I right now? Anyway, she called me back and said she loved me too. So, anyways, I love being gay. It's been the best time. So not only am I gay, I'm also a felon. Real life. I told you it wasn't for getting a baby out of my slice, but it was for one time when I took a trip to South Dakota. Does anybody know what's in South Dakota? You should know that it's the Black Hills, the most sacred land to the Native Americans, okay? And we came in, we stole that shit, we put Mount Rushmore on it, okay? But everyone talks so highly literally Mount Rushmore. They're like, it's these 4 white men's heads. It's so big, it's so beautiful. And I'm like, it's 4 white men's heads. It's always going to be smaller than they tell you it's going to be. Okay, so I'm leaving disappointed. Next thing I know, whoop, whoop, cops behind me. I was like, whoop. So I pulled over. I minded the law. Mind you, I was just at Mount Rushmore. I'm a patriot. Okay. And this man in uniform walks up to me. Let me tell you, this is in my bisexual times, okay? So he walks up and he says, if you're honest with me, I'll be honest with you. And I was like, an honest man where? Did I manifest this? And I was fully honest. Next thing I know, I was in handcuffs. Okay, kiki, all right. So we're walking to the car. He opens the car door. I was like, I love having doors open for me. That's really nice. Then he sits me down and he buckles me in. I've never felt more safe in my life. I was like, is this what it's like to have a dad? It's crazy. So obviously I think we're on the way to our date. There's been a lot of non-consensual touching. And we pull up to this beautiful brown brick building and we get buzzed in, 10-4. I was like, and he's got money? And he sure fucking did. He got me a gift on the first date. I was like, another red flag, but I'll happily accept. Added to the bouquet of roses. It was a horizontal striped shirt. I thought I looked hideous. I thought I looked, wow, you know, it's supposed to make you look white set, right? He thought I looked gorgeous because we got multiple pictures. We got one here. We got one here. And we got one here. And if you don't believe me, you can look it up on rapidcitybookings.com. My name is Brittany Bancroft. If you can't find my mugshot, follow me on Instagram. It's been a pleasure with you tonight, Oz. Put your hands together for your host. Bye.